Voila! And welcome to the Amanda Nothando Show. I'm Amanda and thank you guys for watching. I am so super excited about today's episode because joining me on the episode today is an amazing woman. I know some of you have already seen her in Edmonton, online, live, everywhere in Edmonton. Well, you already know that. Okay, today joining me, she's a self-love life and business coach and a former registered psychologist, and she's also the owner of Unleash Your Inner Wonder Woman coaching for personal and business development, Rosalyn Fung. Thank you so much for coming, Rose.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited. I was like, okay, finally I get to sit down with this woman. And I hope I have all my facts right because I had to do massive research. I'm so happy.
I appreciate that. Honestly, it feels like such an honor that you took the time to reach out to me and do a little bit of research, and like we connected right away.
So
yes. Love your energy. I think we have very similar
energy, exactly. I remember even the last time the first time we met as a people, I was like, oh my gosh, I love the energy that you have because we're the same and it's easy to relate, right?
Yes, exactly. But there is one correction, so it's Rosalyn Fung coaching.
Oh, right.
Yes,
so,
but my tagline is Unleash Your Inner Wonder Woman. That's what I love helping.
Okay. Guys, you heard that? All right, that's awesome. Let's get into it. So please enlighten us more on what Unleash Your Inner Wonder Woman coaching is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am super passionate about helping women entrepreneurs get out of their own way so that they can create the impacts, influence, and income that they desire. So what that looks like is, because I'm a former registered psychologist, I'm trained to help people shift their, usually it's unconscious, limiting beliefs, those beliefs that get in the way, whether it's fear of failure, fear of being powerful, fear of being visible, fear of being, fear of, I was going to say seen, but that's the same as visible. Fear of rejection. So there's like a lot of self-image issues. Perhaps even body image issues. Like just being on camera is really scary for a lot of people. And being on stage can be scary as well because...
Can you believe I'm actually afraid being on stage?
No, are you lying? Are you lying to me?
No. Okay, not that. Okay, now I have actually become better because of the classes that I'm taking. But I was as energetic as I am, courageous as I am, I couldn't.
You can. It's just a matter of practicing and believing, and then having the confidence to do it.
Right.
And being okay with making mistakes and not being perfect. I'm really, So that's great that you said that because you just allowed yourself to be vulnerable, and that's really a big piece of the work that I do is I invite people to drop into their vulnerability, take off our social mask of, I need to look like I have all my stuff together. Right? I need to look like I'm super crazy confident and nothing's wrong with me and I'm perfect.
No problems.
Can we relate to that?
No.
We can't relate to somebody that's perfect, right?
That's true,
So that's a huge part of the work I do because as women entrepreneurs, we have lots of value. So I help people tap into their value and their gifts that's already in them. And that's part of who you are and what you offer in this world. And really unleash that so that you are serving and supporting the world while also doing this with receiving financial abundance, right? So it comes full circle for them.
Okay, awesome. So you're not only a self-love personal coach, right? Not only a self-love personal, right? But business as well, right? So how do you tap into the business side of it? Because I thought self-love was more personal without even getting into the business aspect of it.
That's a fantastic question. Well, I really believe that when you know your worth, right? So confidence is about your ability to your belief in yourself to do something and eventually do it well, right? Confidence is always about an ability. So for me, my own journey started with struggling with food and body image,
right.
and really loving myself.
Right.
And I thought, because I got messages when I was young around not being enough, not being skinny enough, pretty enough, or smart enough. Right. And so that led me to become an overachiever.
Pretty enough, smart enough. I'm thinking right now, just looking at you, I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Well, and we do get those messages.
Yeah.
And indirectly, even if it wasn't the people's intentions.
Yes.
But we receive those messages, and that's how
we maybe take them
take meaning
about
it.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that led me to overcompensate and become an overachiever, a perfectionist, and develop type A personality. And so this led into the avenue of trying to perfect my body, because I thought, if I have the perfect body, then I will be lovable and
it will compensate the rest of the areas.
Yeah, exactly. And I will be enough. Well, in 2008, so I had been, since a young teen till then, I had been a dieter. I was perfecting my body. But I also, what happens when you pair shame and dieting is a formula for an eating disorder.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, I started secretly binge eating. Yeah. And so stuffed my emotions down.
Yeah.
And just kept perfecting my body, just kept being restrictive in my eating, and then binging on the side. And for me, the form of purging came in, because you feel guilty about binge eating, it came in the form of over-exercising. And so this happened for years until I decided to push my body to the next level and compete in a figure bodybuilding competition.
Oh, nice.
Well, not from that place. But
okay, not from
right.
that.
I mean, it is a hard work, and
I was not looking at my boxing gloves.
You're like, yeah, yes.
Okay.
You know, on some level, yes. I am proud that I did that accomplishment, but it wasn't from the right place.
Yeah.
It wasn't from a place of love. It was from a place of I'm not enough. So this would be the avenue for me to try to achieve that I am enough.
Right.
But what happens is my mindset didn't change. So by the time I got onto stage and here I am posing in my perfect fitness model body, I felt nothing but anxiety and emptiness. Because all I could think about was what to eat, when to eat, how many calories, what happens if I fall off track, how much do I need to exercise. Yeah, and I had six-pack abs, but my stomach wasn't flat enough, because my stomach was my place where I was not. Well, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Yeah. And so I knew that I couldn't keep going in life this way. So after that breakdown, I got introduced to a method called HAKOMI. And what
Which we'll get into.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll put that off, because I'm sure that's one of the questions.
Which we'll get into,
But when it comes back to your question around what does self-love have to do with business?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So on the outside, I looked super confident. 10 years ago on stage, my life was amazing. I was a new psychologist in private practice. I was a second-degree black belt in karate. So I was a role model. Yeah, I was a role model to kids, teens, and adults.
Yeah.
You know, and also I was a newlywed, and I was really happy in my marriage. And so on the outside, everything looks perfect. And I actually was confident, because remember, confidence is your belief in yourself to do something eventually well. Right? But I felt empty. And it wasn't until I was introduced to HAKOMI that I realized I was operating unconsciously from this place of I am valued in my doingness rather than my beingness.
Which we'll get into.
Doingness is never enough.
Okay, so let's just get into that one.
That's it. That's what business has to be about, especially as a solopreneur.
Yeah.
What does self-love have to do with it? You need to believe in yourself in order to really show up. Okay, especially as a coach, as a therapist, as a speaker, as someone who wants to create more impacts in this world. Right. As somebody who, if you hold networking events or you have a community of women, you need to show up so that you can hold space. But if you're not feeling your own worth, you'll hide. You'll hide. It's hard to. It's hard to put
you
yourself
won't give
out
your
there.
all, if anything, right?
You stay playing small.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So playing big is about believing yourself so that you know, because as an entrepreneur, in order to grow, we need to, and anybody as a human being, we need to step outside of our comfort zone. Yeah. In order to do that, we need to love ourselves enough to be to be able to take those steps.
And believe in yourself. Wow. Okay. Now I got it.
You get the connection?
I get the connection. Now let's get to the question that you were about to answer before I even ask you. Before I even ask you. So you say, there we go. Like, okay, what? Now we'll even have questions, right? Okay, so you say you grew up in a world where you were valued, for your doingness.
Yes.
Rather than your beingness. Please elaborate on what you mean by the doingness in comparison to the beingness.
So doingness is all about performance and being. I'm Chinese. I'm a first generation Canadian Chinese.
Okay.
My parents are from Hong Kong, and so there's a lot of traditional Asian beliefs about your worth is tied to your doingness. How you perform, right? So how you perform academically, piano lessons.
Yes, I read that. I'm like, who would hate piano lessons? I would have loved to take piano lessons, but you hated piano lessons.
I hated it. Yeah, because I had to practice like 3 hours a day, and I am not musically inclined.
Okay.
To the point where my instructor was mad at me because he thought I wasn't practicing. I'm like, it's just not very bad.
Yeah. But that
wasn't my passion. Yeah. And it wasn't my thing. So, math, all the sciences, in the Asian culture, it's emphasized. Status is emphasized, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a doctor, an engineer, a psychologist, like that's emphasized.
Wow.
And so there's a little bit of needing to please the parents, or prove your worth. Through your academics and your performance and how well you do.
Right. So weren't they disappointed after you you were a registered psychologist and then now you're turning into a coach, a life?
Oh yeah,
like a self-love life.
It was not easy, especially for my dad. Like I really don't think. And to this day, I don't think he quite gets it. I can see he is proud of me, but he doesn't quite understand it. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah.
But it really was a journey in transitioning.
Okay.
We can talk more about that later because I want to still answer like that question about the difference between doingness and beingness. So beingness is just, again, who you are.
Be who you are.
Right? So when we're born into the world, everybody's like, oh my gosh, this baby's so perfect.
Right.
We are like a diamond.
Yeah.
And so it's just about honoring who you are as a being and our spirits, right? Our essence of who we are. And owning that.
Right.
We don't have to be more or do more to just know we're enough.
Right. Yeah.
And I never separated those two.
Okay.
Like not consciously, and I never until I did my own inner work and realized like these two things are different.
Right. Oh wow. Okay. So what led to your realization of the beingness part rather than the doingness? Yeah.
HAKOMI. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So let's get into HAKOMI now. HAKOMI was really far away, but I think it's best we go there, right? So adding to your psychology practice, right?
Yes.
Adding to your psychology practice is being a certified HAKOMI practitioner.
That's right. Yes.
So for starters, tell us what HAKOMI is all about, which you are about to explain earlier on, and how it transformed your life such that you had to become certified for it.
Okay. Yeah. So HAKOMI, what it means is how do I stand in relationship with myself and how do I stand in relationship with others? Because if you think about it, we're always in those relationships.
Right.
So it's a mindfulness study. Mindfulness means paying attention to what's happening inside us, sensations, tensions, the emotions, and around us. So it's a mindfulness study that combines psychology, neuroscience, and spirituality.
Oh, right.
So what it looks like is because our bodies cannot tell the difference between thinking about something stressful versus being there. What it looks like when I'm working with somebody one-on-one, or even it's very powerful when I do this in workshops as well, group workshops, is somebody maybe sharing a story. I drop the contents of the story and I invite them to go inside their body and notice how that story is in this moment evoking the sensations you're experiencing, the tensions, what's happening. And what this is doing is it's accessing unconscious parts of us. You're conscious the whole time. It's very powerful. So it may evoke the inner child, let's say, those limiting core beliefs, right? And in that moment, I work with the person to process. So shame is coming up, guilt is coming up. It's very powerful to work that way and then shift the beliefs.
Okay.
So it works on the cellular level. Yeah. And I can help transform someone right in that moment.
So how is it different though from psychology?
Well, psychology is really this is a faucet of psychology. It's not different. It's just a faucet of it, right?
Okay.
It's called experiential method because you are like there's talk counseling or talk coaching where you're just like right now we're just talking. Yeah. This goes in deep. And you're studying. So right now, even in this moment, as we're having this conversation, I'm noticing my breath is very calm. I feel very grounded. I can feel my seat feeling like grounded on it, right? Yeah. So I'm paying attention to what's happening. I'm noticing, I'm feeling like excitement, and what excitement for me feels like buzzing in my chest, an open energy as I'm making contacts with you, right? So I'm paying attention what's happening, and so when my clients I'm processing with them, it's usually not a great memory, like their blocks are coming up. So the fear, let's say fear of failure, because that's a common one. So I invite them to go into that. And let's say they're really scared. They know they want to be a speaker. They know they want to put themselves out there and speak. But what's stopping them is this fear of failure. Because at the very core of us, we just want to feel loved and safe and that we belong. So rejection is huge, right? So all of these thoughts come on, like, I'm not good enough. What will people think? Will people even listen? I'm too fat. I'm not pretty enough, right? All this stuff. So I process those beliefs with them and then help them shift in the moment so that they have a new belief. Right.
But then what makes humans focus on the negative, meditate more on the negative, than turn it around and
survival. Survival. So core beliefs are born out of survival, and usually unconsciously, starting as a child, right? So it's kind of like, let me think about this and how I can share this. So, so let's say a little girl is super, super excited. And is like, wow, look at this. And she's just being in her essence and just her happiness and her joy. And the parent, not out of this intention, but the parent's like, quiet. Right? And in that moment, the child immediately gets shut down. And the meaning the child may make is, I'm not allowed to shine. Right? I'm being too much. And so they learn, this is all unconscious, because children mostly live in their unconscious brain, right here. Right, this is emotional brain. I should say right here. And this is like back here, the very back, that's like where our fight or flight response is. So this right here is what we're using right now. It's the conscious, logical, higher executive functioning. This is still developing, right? So as kids, we like really access this part, use this part. And so the belief is, if it's, I'm not allowed to shine, right? I'm not allowed to be big. They then learn how to shrink so that they survive in their environment, so that mom doesn't get mad at me, right? And so then that becomes a belief, and then it shows up as a pattern no matter what the content is. Does that make sense? In the life. So it's like a life jacket you create when you're young, but trying to wear it, let's say 15 years later, isn't going to fit. Right, so it's time to upgrade that jacket or belief so that we create a new belief.
Oh wow!
It's very powerful.
It's so amazing, because I was like, I need to hear about this. It's different hearing it from somebody who's actually gotten in depth with it than just reading it on Google, right?
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Because we're born perfect. It's shame and guilt that gets put on us because other people are projecting that. Again, not their intention. I'm not here blaming like parents or whatever, right? But that's just what happens because we're human, right? And so it only makes sense that we heal in relationship. We can't do this on our own, right? So oftentimes that relationship starts in the coaching, right? To support that person to shift their beliefs.
That is awesome.
It's powerful.
So we're living in a society where marriage actually, to many other women, is perceived the greatest achievement. lately, which is sad, right? And it's actually what's trending, because social media is, oh yay, she said yes, oh yay, this, you know what I mean?
Really?
And then some people,
wow.
oh, it's crazy, wow. Right? And then sometimes I sit down and look on social media, I'm like, why would, it's amazing to find somebody, I get it, but to make it an achievement, like, oh yeah, I've done it, what are you doing? What are you doing about you being with, not being with, being with somebody? Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So would you consider that a problem with self-love, self-confidence, or I'm trying to understand the trend that's going on.
Okay, so what would be the problems?
So I can give an example of, I don't know if you've watched the new movie that came out.
Which one?
Nappily Ever After.
No.
Oh my gosh, you need to watch that.
Okay.
You need to watch that.
Okay, we'll go have a girls' night. Okay.
Yes. So Nappily Ever After, it's more of, you're getting into a relationship because I want the ring. I want the ring. You're not looking for companionship. You're not looking for a friend. You're not looking for somebody to understand you to the point that you have to be. It's more of a self-image thing. It's more of a self-image, right? And I'm like, this society that we're living in, is it that women have a low self-esteem now, or what's turning majority actually of the women are turning into that? And most of them, you see, they're educated, they have it all together, but okay, you don't have a partner, but then you end up resorting to that. Now I need to look, I need to get married, I need to do this. So I was like, okay, I need somebody who is a coach, who understands self-love, just anything to do with confidence. And I don't know if you...
Well, I think that's not an easy answer. I think what's most important is where are they operating from? Are they operating from a place of fear, or operating from a place of love? And you know, if you're sharing, because I haven't heard of this, so if you're sharing more, it's like they want to just get the ring, they want to complete their picture. Yes. Right? Is that right?
Complete their picture.
Is it more of a self-image thing because they're then worried that other people are going to think something's wrong with them?
Something's wrong with me, or when am I going to have a baby? Like biological clock is ticking, and all that jazz. I'm like, gone are the days when we used to be told you need to work on your career, everything will fall into place. But now women are focusing on, I need the ring. I need the ring. How come I don't have the ring? Right? Which I find it sad, really. But then now is it a problem of self-image, self-love, low
Again,
self-esteem?
I think it depends. So, like, even biological clock, I don't think that is, right? Like, there's a realness about, like, I want to be a mom. Because maybe that's for some people, that really feels like a purpose. Like, they're meant to be a mom on this earth. And so I would see that's from a purpose-driven place. Right? So I think it depends, and it's really about asking yourself, what do I want, and why am I pursuing this? Okay. Right? What place is it coming from? Is it because I feel like I'm not enough, so I need to go out and seek a man? I mean, just like, and maybe this is getting a little bit on a sidetrack, but just like trying to find the perfect body or trying to achieve that perfect body. Lots of women, to obtain the self-worth, lots of women get validation from men in order to find that self-worth. But self-worth starts here.
That's exactly my point. Like, that's exactly my point. Like, I think it's more of, I need to get a man to validate who I am. If I do not, I am not enough. Right. What place are they coming from? What place are they coming from? Is it hurt? Is it loneliness? Is it fear of being alone? I don't know.
Right, and again, it's hard to say. Like, that's where the self-reflection piece needs to come in. As I'm speaking to the audience, right? Ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I pursuing what I'm pursuing? What is the purpose of this? Is this healthy for me? Right? Do I feel good doing this? Is it stroking my ego, or is it stroking my spirit? Right. So, right? Ego is more about feeding that, that's, so when we're in ego, that's when we're in fear and self-doubt. Right. Okay. So are we trying to counteract that by seeking outside of ourselves? Because that's not healthy. No. the real, what we want to do instead is look inside, because answers are here, right? And again, the coaching relationship would support that, right? But look inside yourself, or read books that would support you in having a different mindset. Right? Something to start you somewhere, listen to podcasts, watch the show, right? Like things that will support you in thinking differently by looking inside. Looking inside and being, yes, positive, but more so authentically. More so asking yourself, what are you pretending not to know? Right? What are you pretending not to know? Because that's a huge question.
Wow. You've actually given me a huge question.
If you
Okay, what are you pretending not to know?
Write that one down.
Right. Oh, wow.
Because if we really truly, if we imagine we really truly loved ourselves and checked inside and just silenced ourselves and tuned in, we know the answer to anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. That's that gut response.
Right.
Right? And listening to our intuition, our gut is never wrong.
Right.
Have you ever had that experience where something happened and then you're like, oh, shoot, I knew this would happen.
Right.
Oh, shoot, I was going to say something and I didn't. Or I was, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't listen to ourselves.
Right. Oh, okay. That's great. Oh, my gosh. This is very informative.
Good.
I can say very informative. And it's some stuff that I feel other women need to know. You know what I mean? Because I've seen some people who really struggle with self-worth and they're like, wow. Not that I am as confident as you are or as confident as maybe Oprah or as confident as other women out there. But then you're like, I wish you knew the power that you have.
Yes.
Instead of putting yourself out there as a weak woman. Not that I'm saying every woman has to be strong.
Yeah.
Not everybody's as powerful as other women out there, but then you're like, I wish you knew the power that you have.
Totally. And I think it's not about measuring or comparing.
Oh, yes.
That's really big, because I think we are both powerful, but in different ways. We have different gifts, and we are different people, right? So it's showing up in owning your own unique self, because that's your power. Right.
Yes.
So it's not about comparing that I'm more powerful than you. That's not true.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, I want to do better than you.
Yeah.
And didn't know.
Or that Oprah's more powerful than us.
Yeah.
That's not true either.
Exactly.
She has more influence and impacts because of how she's grown her audience. But that doesn't mean that she is more powerful. Right? When we own, because she's human too, and she has her flaws. Right? And there's power in being able to be open and vulnerable. I think that's Brene Brown. Have you heard of her?
No,
the power of vulnerability.
I've heard of her, but I've never really gotten to listen
so much power of tapping into your vulnerability, and that's really what I'm all about. So that you share from that place.
All right.
Again, it's not wearing the mask of I have my stuff together, right?
Right. Oh my gosh, great! That is awesome. So congratulations on your international best-selling book.
Thank you.
Which is What Self-Love Got to Do With It, guys. Oh my gosh, this is something that when I was reading about it, I was like, okay, you are an author. You are just everything. And then not only just an author, the fact that you had the nerve to gather 13 women.
I didn't do that. I won't take her on. So
and how
Heather
did that
Andrews, the publishing
how did that
company, and she's also one of the authors.
Okay.
She decided to write a book on self-love, and I was one of the people she immediately thought of. We had met, I think about 2 years ago.
Okay.
We were both speakers at a show.
Yeah.
So that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then when it was time for her to put out a book about self-love, she immediately thought of me. And so,
yes.
So this book is pretty incredible.
But then congratulations to you, right? Because you saying your story out there, not a lot of people are able to do that. Right?
It takes a lot of courage.
It takes a lot of courage for you to say, I am stepping out of my comfort zone to expose myself and be vulnerable, like you said. That's the power that you get your power from being vulnerable.
Totally.
Right?
And at this point, because I actually have shared my story a lot, because I know it's healing. So lots of speaking about it. I mean, my online program is really about it. And, and so writing the story now isn't a big step for me. But I know that... of course, there's more. I'm on a journey, and there's more to share, and so I haven't shared a certain story about my life yet, and that in time will come out. I know it will.
Yeah.
So
and
that
it's
will
not
take
like
some
you
time.
have to expose every bit of it.
No, I share what I know will be supportive to the world. Yeah.
That's great. This is the very last moment. The very last. I know this has been so... I have a lot of questions to ask her, and I bet you also have lots of questions to ask Rosalyn, but I have to cut this short because, YouTubers, nobody wants to stay on YouTube for an hour, right? In as much as this is so engaging, this is so interesting, Rosalyn, and it's insightful. It's some people get to learn from this. Not a lot of people know how powerful a woman can be when they get to become authentic, know their inner self, right? Instead of just portraying, oh yeah, I'm perfect, I can never be hurt, I am going to wear this shield of 20 million rocks and still, and you know what I mean?
It's a lonely place.
Which is not good, right? But moving on to the last of how you can motivate other women who have struggled through that, and seeing that you struggled with low self-esteem, self-love, eating disorder, body images, as a word of motivation to other amazing women struggling with that. How then did you turn all the negative energy into the boldness of becoming a public speaker? Into the boldness of becoming a public speaker? Or had you always been a public speaker, but I don't know?
Yeah, I love that question. That's such a good question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. I framed it that way.
Right.
Well, I will say that as a karate instructor, I became very comfortable. I started instructing at a very young age. I started getting trained to speak in front of groups. We'll say 14.
Okay.
Right. So but that was specifically for teaching. And so I got really comfortable over the years in teaching and speaking in front of groups. Now it's different though when you are invited to speak about your vulnerabilities. And so it really didn't happen until I joined that group coaching program for speakers to create more impacts.
Okay.
And so I was a blogger then, and I was blogging about my journey.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so I really feel like my skills came about in that, and Huffington Post actually caught hold of my blog, and I thought it was a joke. I was like, yeah, whatever, right? And then I came back and was like, oh my god! They started to me out, so I knew it was the universe bringing me, well, at that time, I know now, because I wasn't very spiritual back then. I wasn't awakened yet.
Right,
but it was, for me, I knew something bigger was going to happen once I went, because I was on mat leave, once I go back to work. This was with my first child, about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And so once I knew this was my purpose, I started to go out to speak. I started putting on more workshops, and just like that, because I knew I needed to serve. I knew I had so much knowledge and value, and these people needed to come who needed to come to heal their relationship with food and their body, and and those are just doorways into deeper aspects of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And so I knew I needed to put this out there because there were tons of people that suffer from food and body image. And so that's really how it started, and I just come from a place of let's serve.
Wow.
Let's help people change their lives. Right?
Oh,
and that's what I speak. That's why I speak.
Oh, wow. And so how would you motivate somebody who's still stuck in there? Who's still stuck in that negative moment, negative vibe?
HAKOMI.
There you go. Simple. One word. HAKOMI. Just one word. HAKOMI, guys. And I think you were listening all this time what HAKOMI is. Were you also Googling HAKOMI, Wendy?
HAKOMI.
Yes, oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
Honestly, it's about immersing yourself in people who are going to support you. And that might not always be family.
Yeah,
right?
That is true.
That is about having people who are in a community where you might create that community, but who get the pain you're in, who have been through that pain or steps ahead, because they're your mentors. They're your people who can cheerlead you, who can support you. And so that's why I really think tribe is really important. That's why I love creating community.
That is so amazing. I always talk about tribe, knowing your tribe, be able to be surrounded by the right tribe. And when you see the wrong tribe is bringing negative energy, you'd rather walk away.
That's right.
You'd rather walk away.
That's right. And on social media, unsubscribe to anything that doesn't serve or support you. If you're looking at feeds that you're questioning yourself and it's bringing self-doubt and comparison,
draining your energy,
stop it. just delete that and replace it with inspirational feeds.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That is awesome. Thank you so
much.
much.
Watch this more.
Exactly.
Watch amazing.
She makes me look amazing because she's amazing. But anyway, thank you so much for coming, Rosalyn. And it was so amazing to learn a lot about you, to learn a lot about HAKOMI, and like our camera lady was also looking into psychology. It was so engaging, really. And I just hope everybody they took what they could.
Yes,
out
absolutely.
of this, right?
And they're welcome to stay in touch.
Right,
so,
definitely. So normally I would definitely put your details so you can actually follow Rosalyn and find out what she does. There's more. There's a lot more.
Yes, and we'll put the link to my freebie.
We'll put everything.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's get into that, guys. Obviously, everybody loves freebies. I was trying to say, okay, how do we get into this freebies moment? But good news is we're going to get a freebie from Rosalyn if you would like to tell the viewers what it's all about and how to get it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's my e-guide. Tame Your Inner Critic.
Right.
And it goes over like there's 7 different kinds of inner critics and why we have them and how to start shifting out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can put the link to that.
Definitely will do that.
Yeah.
And how you can get that freebie is watch this episode, share this episode around. If you want, leave a comment. Actually, not if you want.
Oh, I would
leave
love
a comment.
to hear.
Exactly. Leave a comment. What you loved about Rosalyn, what she said, what you gained from what she said, and what you look forward to in your life.
Yes.
Right.
What I would love to hear your aha moments.
Exactly.
What stood out for you in this interview that made you go, oh my gosh, that's a really great question, or made you start to think differently.
Yeah.
I have soulgasms about that. Because Rosalyn, you made me think differently. I'm like, yes!
Which is amazing. It's so amazing. Oh yeah, that is so true. So yes, that's how you can get the freebie, and it's worth getting, guys. So it's only a matter of sharing this video, share it on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, and you can tag her. I will put all the details.
Awesome.
You can tag her and myself, so I can also trace that, right?
Fantastic.
And then I will put all the details down below. And if you haven't subscribed, obviously we're gonna have more freebies. I'm gonna have more.
Nice.
So we're gonna be
Nice.
Season 3 is gonna be amazing. But we're kind of rounding off season 2, and I'm so glad that you got to come here. And I was just looking forward to this moment. I was like, I need to sit down with Rosalyn. And I am so excited right now. And thank you so much.
Thank you, love. I really enjoyed myself. I knew this would be super fun.
Right?
How could it not be?
Right? Exactly. So the questions are not difficult, were they?
No.
There we go.
Super easy.
It's what you know.
It's fun
already. Right? But anyway, to the viewers, thank you so much for watching, and keep watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button here for you to receive all the latest uploads. And season 3 definitely is going to be interesting as well. It's going to be different, actually. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and keep watching. Remember, little girls with dreams become women of vision. Take care and God bless you.
Play big.
Play big, she said. Awesome.